And our quote and our logo saying is, "There's no place like home." Meet our team. George, he is our CEO and founder. Michael Torres is our vice president. Wang Dong, she is our chief operating officer. Ashley Cunningham, she is our chief financial officer. Zaya Chen, she's our marketing manager, and I am the production manager. Okay, so a little brief about what we kind of stand for. So every student's dream, every person's dream is to get out of their parents' house and to go to college. And when you go to college, the last thing that you want to deal with is difficulties, whether you can find a place to live, or whether your refrigerator doesn't work, or if you don't like your roommate. And you don't want to deal with that. Students spend most of the time in the room studying late hours, and our company is to make sure that students have the best living environments to help their studying. And what better way to fix all of that is through communication. And I'm going to present it over to Michael over here, and he's going to talk about the company background. But you, okay.
So I'm Ashley. I'm going to talk about the company's background. We're one of the industry's leading consulting companies, founded by George and Mike. They were roommates in college, and they decided that they were tired of paying thousands of dollars a month to live in a dorm with nothing, like a bed, and they didn't even have a couch. So they decided to make a consulting company, and our values, we treat everyone with respect, we're fair and responsible, we are working on strengthening our communication skills and being open and honest about everything. Our company is willing to do anything that has to be done in order to make our clients happy. Okay, Mike,
I did the statement of needs, and the HR department, or housing residence organization on campus, is one of the largest on campus, and it is basically in charge of all the students and the dorms. And there's over 12,000 students on campus, or that attend the school now, and they require all freshmen that aren't commuters to live in the dorms. So they're starting to have overcrowding, and they've had problems with that. And then also it's created problems with the maintenance staff and how quickly they can respond and fix stuff, I guess. And also the pricing, even though there's more students, they have not lowered pricing or anything, so it's still really expensive to live. If any of you guys have lived in the dorms, you know that it's more than the apartments or anything around campus. And then, that creates already that paying for the dorm, and then the cost of living, like food, tuition, everything else you need, adds up. So the prices have definitely been a problem. And then also the communication between them and the students living there is okay, but could use improvement. They have bulletin boards for the RAs, or resident advisors, to talk to the students and post stuff, and then they have meetings. And it's kind of slow, on campus. If you've been in the dorms, some of the bulletins are in corners of the hall where some people don't go by, and it's just kind of behind the times for communicating. And then also the involvement of students in the dorms. I know they have the Battle of the Halls, I think it's called, and it's a good one, but there's not really a lot of events for them to get the students and all the halls together. And then this is the problems and like, that I found with throughout their history that it's kind of slowed down communication and maintenance, and like everything else, the prices have gone up. So those are some of the main problems we found. And up next is George.
Hello, my name is George Matai. I am the CEO. I'm going to be explaining the internal and external communications of the HR department. Basically, internally, the housing and residence life, they communicate through email with students. That's usually a good way to communicate with students because they respond faster than usual. Face-to-face is probably one of the best ways you can communicate with them because you can actually talk to someone personally and get your problem solved faster. And also they do phone calls as well. Some of the external communications that they have for the students around campus are bulletin boards. They post different activities and study sessions that students can attend around the dorms. So as they leave their dorms or enter their dorms, they will be able to see those. Sometimes the housing and residence link with other student organizations to create events, but as we still see a lack of events around campus. They do phone calls for externally, and they have a website that you can get most of the information about the type of dorms that they provide and activities that happen around campus. Like we said, the effectiveness of the communication internally, emails tend to be very effective. I got responses back from them rather quickly. And face-to-face, you're always going to get your response immediately, or they'll direct you to somebody that can provide you with that assistance. Externally, the bulletin boards are somewhat effective because students don't really pay attention to these bulletin boards a lot of the time, or they may be in a certain area where they can't get access to the bulletin board the way they need to. Student organizations are effective because it allows the housing department to collaborate with each other, and they can get a better result from the students. Phone calls are not as effective because when students try to call, it tends to be a long wait. So the best way to do that would be to go in the office, and the website is effective because it provides a lot of the information that you need to know. A SWOT analysis of the housing and residence. Some of the strengths are that the office is on campus, so students can walk to the campus if they need to. It creates a social environment for the students with the housing and residence. They get to network with each other and figure out different ways they can be successful. And the school funds a lot of the housing and residence activities, but we still see a lack of activities. So we get a few activities a year, but not much. And the weaknesses is there's a low satisfaction rate from a lot of the students from the housing and residence because they don't feel like there's equal opportunities for everyone to get a good dorm or a living facility. And the facilities are old and overcrowded. Some of the opportunities are like the RA group chat. RAs have a group chat that they can stay connected with each other and be able to solve problems faster than usual. And they do door-to-door ads sometimes. That's more effective than the bulletin boards. Threats are other housing departments and people who would vandalizers of the dorms and that try to destroy events and stuff. The university, I compared the University of West Georgia to Rice University, and they're not as efficient in creating activities for the student body. We're trying to work on trying to get some better activities for the students. The attendance rate for the students is, the attendance rate for the students here is much less than Rice University, so maybe that may be a reason why they don't try to make better activities for the students. And Rice University, they have a bigger population, so they have more control over their housing and residents, and they can be more engaged with the students because they have a bigger following online socially than West Georgia does. West Georgia's Twitter account only has about a couple thousand, maybe 1,002, and we have about 12,000 students at the school. So that the ratio shows you that that most of the students aren't engaged socially.
See, that's what I was telling you at school earlier. They wouldn't let us sign in. It keeps on saying expired and Internet Explorer.
Probably would have been better to download it as a PowerPoint so that you could just run it off the program instead of from slides in the future. Get to where you need to be.
Quick present up there at the other corner. Up.
I see it.
Yes, I'll pass the recommendations on to Wang Lee.
Hello everyone. Based on some problems, we give 6 recommendations from 3 aspects. The first recommendation is improve the facilities quality as much as possible. The facility is a key part of housing, and some resident buildings not have enough facilities or their facilities are too old to use. For example, there are not enough washing machines and dryers in some buildings. People have to wait for a long time to get their clothes washed and dried. We think the department can do a research on whether the amount of washing machines and dryers are enough in each building. It will improve the department image. And the second one is improve the service quality. We think it can improve in 2 ways. Open different channels for residents to reflect problems, such as official email, hotlines, office staff service, and try the best to solve them quickly. The second is improve the staff service quality, having a higher standard when recruiting new staff and training them professionally. It can make the whole work team professional and technical. The third one is provide the roommate match. We think the department can do a survey before deciding to who will live together in one department. Let residents select which people they like or they don't like. Some universities do it well. They make students who have the same hobbies live together, or make students whose majors are complementary live together, so they can help each other in their studies. The fourth is hold more attractive activities and offer some little prize. Some students will say they think the activities are boring, it may be waste time. We think the department can hold different theme parties to attract different residents. Meanwhile, provide some facilities and free food, school t-shirts will also helpful. The fifth one is increasing communication with other departments and organizations. Cooperating with other departments and organizations is very important. Delegating someone who will be responsible for communicating with other departments will save more time. Moreover, make sure the information channel is open and effective. Set up a database to share data with all other departments and organizations. And the last recommendation is keep in touch with graduate residents and invite them back to give speech. Pay attention to graduates who used to live on campus. The department can invite them back to give speech to current residents. The speech can contain many topics because they have similar lives on campus and can share their special experience to students. It's an activity not only can involve residents but also can develop the external communication. Next is Rachel.
For those who still don't know me, I'm Rachel and I'm the marketing manager of our company. In conclusion, today we first talk about, I analyze the internal and external communication of our department. And then we find the needs of the department to increase the number of the dorms, to update the facilities and service of the dorms, and also to organize some resident-involved activities. Well, based on the previous assessments, our company has carried out 6 recommendations for the department, and these recommendations include some strategies like providing roommate match and inviting the previous resident to make some speech, and also to organize some corresponding prize for the people who attend our activities. As a company who has more than 14 years experience of consulting, we believe that our company can provide the best service for the housing and residence life department. There's no place like home, and we believe that we can provide students who live on campus with a better life. Now, thanks for listening, and do you have any questions?
All right, questions?
Oh,
All right, questions for team number 2.
how much time and or effort will be needed to put the laundry service for students in place?
Thanks for your question. I think it will take about a month because we first need to do a survey about how many students they in the dorm and how many laundry service we need, laundry machines we need to add to each dorm so that we can save money and we can provide a better service. But we will try to do to add the laundry machine as soon as possible.
Cool.
Okay.
Why should we trust your recommendations to improve our department now and into the future?
Because we're also a company, but we're also really down to earth, so we know everyone's needs, and we don't just look at it from a business aspect, we look at it as a personal aspect, and everyone's comfort and satisfaction is in our needs, so that's our main goal, is to make sure everyone's happy.
Ultimately, we, as consultants of the company, have already been through what students are going through right now as we speak, so we know some of the things that need to be improved and some of the things that need to be changed in order for students to have a better living facility.
How can your recommendation of living on campus or residence life help to increase our student member base for future growth?
Well, with our recommendations, we plan on changing a lot of the things that people complain about. So therefore, once these changes are put in place, the word will spread around that the things have improved, and pretty much people will be more engaged after that the changes have been made.
And more people will want to come.
They don't feel like it's making sense at all. So.
Why would working with your consultant company be a smart choice and or investment? Is that what you said? What was it?
Because we get the job done. Like I said before, it's kind of a similar question. We, evaluate everything that needs to be done, and just to make sure everyone's happy, make sure everyone's in a, a clean living environment. They're satisfied with their roommate, and also that they have an easier process when moving into the dorms to make them feel like a lot more happier. So.
And like we said before,
Yeah. They've been in that
we've been in the
situation
situation,
already.
so we could have a better more hands-on approach to changing things rather than another company.
what are the risks involved with the roommate match, specifically like violence on campus, potentially?
Of course, you're always going to have some type of threats to the company, but we plan on making some adjustments, such as putting security in places that don't usually have security, and that way we can make sure everybody's safe and has a good living environment.
Why do you believe your recommendation of better quality maintenance service will increase student relations?
Can you do that?
Your feedback,
Yeah.
Okay, how do you think better quality maintenance service is gonna help relations between the department and students?
Basically, if maintenance improves, students can get more of their problems solved faster than usual. So if the maintenance improves, definitely the student, their satisfaction rate will improve. If we can make sure that everything gets completed in a timely manner.
Freshmen are required to live on campus, so they don't really have the choices like, sophomores, juniors, and seniors do to go live outside of campus in the student apartments. So this also will give an opportunity, say, all of our stuff is updated and all of it's clean, so that may get more sophomores, juniors, and seniors to want to live on campus too, instead of go somewhere else where the maintenance is a lot better and a lot more responsive.
I think there's one more question in the corner.
Do you believe Resident Life has long-term potential to deliver benefits to students?
Definitely the way we plan on changing around the student activities around campus. We plan on getting students more engaged and involved so they can create better networking opportunities, because college isn't just about studying and passing tests. It's an opportunity for people to come together and help find people that can help them in their path to success.
All right. Is there any takeaways for us?
Yeah.
Can you describe them?
Well, let's buy candy and a card. So.
All right. Thank you, everyone.